It's time for the Jesse T Show. Yours truly, me, Jesse T, on there and everywhere, Southern California and throughout God's blue, green earth. It's Worthy Cause Wednesday. And you know what we're talking about now. The ever and ongoing fight against those evil varmints of the world. Well, I personally can't stand. Give me a sword and shield, God, please. Human traffickers. Also, we've got a great show lined up for you here. We've got many guests on, and we're going to be talking about a super cool event happening at the end of this month on the 30th. We're going to get into that. And a lot of participation here to raise money, funds, and also to raise awareness about abuse on women, and of course, human trafficking as well, and some other very, very important issues, all taking place in Glendale. We'll be talking about that with our guests, who you can probably see right now, but I've got them all muted out at this point, but we'll bring them all up here in just a moment. Hey, the show is brought to you by Your Home Sold Guaranteed, where if they do not sell your house, they will buy it. Plus, Your Home Sold Guaranteed, if they don't sell it, they'll sell it for free. And Your Home Sold Guaranteed, if they don't sell it at your list price, they'll pay you the difference. So you want to give them a call at 1-844-332-6305, extension 1045. So let's talk about human trafficking a little bit of it. Okay, I've been doing this for about 12 years. We had a great opportunity. God blessed us with about 12 years ago to be able to clean up a couple of areas of the San Fernando Valley, at which time were pretty bad. A couple of 100-year generational prostitutes and pimping areas, but it eventually turned into the more prosperous human trafficking. And one day I was driving down the road on the Lancaster corridor, Lancaster and San Fernando Road, an area that I do a lot of real estate work in. And I saw a little 14-year-old who I thought was about 14 to 16, lifting up her dress and showing herself off in the middle of a Saturday afternoon, in the middle of the street, trying to woo customers over to the side of the road. Well, I flipped a U-turn and came over there. And of course, she came walking over there, and I started to say, you know, hey, why don't you just come with me? Go with me. The police station is just a couple of blocks away. The Foothill Division, LAPD, and you know, I know you're only about 14 or 15. She finally got out that she was like 16, and you know, she was from Florida. And then her pimp walked up on me, and he flashed a little 45 at me, and I walked away. But then I went over to the police department, and I said, you know, this is going on over there, and it's happening right now. And they go, oh yeah, we know about it. I said, what are you going to do about it? They said, well, you know, we're really busy. That's low on our totem pole. I said, you got to be kidding. There's an elementary school, there's churches, there's a junior high school, there's a high school. They all walk. You go, yeah, I know, it's been a generational problem. I said, I know, I lived in a neighborhood, and it's been a problem since I was 5, 6 years old. I understand that, but it's gotten to the point of no return. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. We'll send a car out there. Well, you know what happens with that. 3 or 4 hours later, a car goes out there and nothing happens. Nothing happens. And so nothing happened. So I decided, well, I needed to do something about that. And so what we did is I got in contact with a very good friend of mine, Cindy Sauer, who has passed away now. And she was on the corner where all this stuff was taking events. And she'd been fighting that, her and her dad, for 45 years. And they could never get over because nobody ever cared. So I said, okay, if nobody cares, I do. So that's when I started my drive. Went over to the council district, Tony Cardenas, who's now a senator, congressman in Congress, 3 terms congressman, and got on him. I've known Tony for a long time. Got on Alex Padilla, got on Bustamante, got on Mayor Garcetti, got on the city council, brought all the Latino media out, which brought the American media out, and went up and talked to the governor and talked to the assembly up in the state, got the FBI, DAA, INS, LAPD, and sheriffs involved, churches, schools, and homeowners and business owners involved. And after 7 years, we finally shut that stuff down on the Lancaster corridor. And it was a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort that we put into that. And we were able to save about 36 little boys and girls, because boys get kidnapped too, between 11 and 16, 17 years old. And we were able to participate in over 700 incarcerations behind prison for long prison sentences, because all these children were trafficked interstate from Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and Florida. So we moved over to the pipeline between Roscoe Boulevard and Parthenia on Sepulveda Boulevard, and we started working that. And worked that for about a year or two. Then I had a little altercation with an MS-13 gang member, and I had to go silent. So for a while. But when we opened up a new office out here in the Antelope Valley, I said it's time for me to come back on the scene after about 3 or 4 years. And so we started Worthy Cause Wednesday. And our worthy cause is to rid the varmints from having the ability to hurt little children and women, young women especially. All these women and children come from broken homes, come from drug abuse, come from abusive behaviors. They're all homeless in many cases, and they're lost in the world. So we are tied in with a lot of organizations, and we kind of cleaned that place up over there, and we're back now. And we will donate $500 to $5,000 for every closing that we do here at Your Home Sold Guaranteed to Project Tapestry of Los Angeles, our 501(c), who distributes the money then to human trafficking people and abuse people to help them rescue and restart people's lives, and the police departments that are fighting this for our benefit, the true heroes that have to face these evil, evil people. So that's what human trafficking is all about. And 2 things I just wanted to mention before I bring everybody else on, and we jump into our terrific event that's happening, and we want you to be a participant in it. And all these wonderful individuals are working hard on their own to make this event happen and to help society take 1 step forward instead of 5 steps backward, like it has been doing for a number of years. So we're moving ahead with that. But one thing I wanted to say, and this is moms and dads, and I want you to understand something with your children. The number 1 people, or number 1 person in the world that kidnaps and abducts children, can you guess who they are? Oh, maybe they're some really big, awful, disgusting gang member men. Oh no, maybe they're some degenerate, perverted weirdos. No, maybe they're just ex-drug addicts. I don't know. No, you know who they are? According to the FBI, they're women between the ages of 25 and 50. They are the number 1 entity that kidnaps, abducts, and enslaves little boys and girls into human trafficking, and then sends them across the nation and across the world, because now there's something called live organ trafficking. And they do that to little children and infants. So be cautious, my friends. Be cautious. Just because it's a woman doesn't mean that she's your mother. Be cautious, my friends. Don't ever let your kids out of your arm's length in 2022. So let's bring on the rest of the gang here. Let's bring on Alatino Brown and Project Tapestry. We're going to bring him on. And as I open up the mic for him, and hopefully I can do this, and I know how to do this, because I'm going to ask to unmute. Unmute, brother. And then we're going to bring on Jay. And we're going to bring on Jay, and we're going to ask him to unmute. And ask to unmute. So you got to unmute yourself. And we're going to bring on Harvey, our technical guy, to ask him to unmute in case I screw everything up. And we're going to bring on Angie, and we're going to ask her to unmute. the beautiful Angie amongst these silly men today. I don't know. You've got control, my queen. Thank you very much. I've been married 32 years, and I know who's the boss of my family. And we're going to bring on Rodney, Ellen Rippey.
Yes, sir. Hey there. How you doing there, man?
Okay. And hey, guys, I want to introduce you, but I want to bring on this little graphic before we go any farther and pop it up here on the screen, because I think it's something that's kind of cool. Can everybody see that right now? Let me kind of move this. Let me kind of move this over to cover all this other stuff. But that's okay. You can see it. It kind of covers it. And that's sort of what our event is going to be about there, ladies and gentlemen. AWS Loyalty Group Talent Agency presents Spare No Expense, first annual entertainment gala to benefit Helping Hands of Southern California, with your celebrity host, the wonderful, beautiful, and gorgeous, talented singer, Mickey Howard. Stars on Brand 417 North Brand Boulevard, Glendale, California, April 30th, 2022. And we want you to be there. Red carpet arrival, 7:30 p.m. Come take some great pictures. Seating begins at 8 p.m. Live entertainment dinner show, too. I like that. Got to eat and enjoy some great music at 8:30 p.m. Celebrities, influencers, casting directors, writers, producers, Toastmakers, all these are going to be there. Some other live entertainment from Ali Starr, Denta Baker, Corey Walker, Susan Christine, Brandon Monsalvo, I like that last name, and Cristo Sierra, I like that too, because we're on Sierra Highway. So that's all happening, and we're going to talk extensively about this, guys.
There you go. You did it.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about this event. Everybody introduce yourself. Let's start with Anthony. And I'll unmute yourself, Anthony, if you will. I love it. We are real, raw,
yes,
dirty, and gritty. Anthony, introduce yourself and what you guys are doing. And there she is. Mickey Howard's with her. Yay! Tell me a little bit about, Mickey, tell me a little bit about what's going on here, what's coming up here on the 30th, and your participation as a celebrity.
Hi. My name is Anthony Strauss.
Anthony Strauss is an amazing man, and I'm very excited.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I can hear you, but you're breaking up pretty good. So what can we do to help them not breaking up, gentlemen?
Are you guys on direct wire to a hard network, or are you very close to Wi-Fi?
We close to Wi-Fi.
You're on Wi-Fi. Are you on a cell phone or a computer?
Yes.
You are on cell phone. Okay.
I'm on a tablet.
On a tablet. Oh, an iPhone. I have something to say, but I won't. Okay, no problem. Okay.
Careful,
Yeah,
Help them out now.
I'm trying here. Okay, if you could sit closer to the box, your router, that may help your signal strength.
We are close to it.
Okay. All right. So you're coming through now. Very good. Okay. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Okay, so go ahead, Mickey and Anthony. Tell us what it's all about and your participation.
Dear brother Anthony has a wonderful nonprofit group that is here to help people. We are so in need of help. So many of the artists, so many of just general population, because of the pandemic and so many things. And we're introducing many new artists at this event. So we're looking forward to helping people. And my brother here is new, found passion.
So how did you get involved with this, Mickey? How did you come to feel that you needed to do something?
Well, I always feel that way. I always do. But I'm only one person. And when, they say two heads are better than one, it's more than a notion. It's true. And my brother has the wherewithal, and he's a very business-minded or, oriented person, whereas I'm an artist, and, our brains are, left side. All right, so he's a genius. He's a genius when it comes to.
So Anthony, in putting this event together from your point of view, what is the outcome? What would you like to see happen on the 30th of April?
Well, I would like to see a large crowd coming out to all the other causes, human trafficking that's been about earlier. It helped. People need so much help out there. The pandemic, everything was already, when the pandemic hit, everything even got worse.
And artists really didn't get a lot of help. I mean, we heard people talk about Broadway, you know, how Broadway went down and stuff like that. But the staples of this business really got no help. I mean, a little bit of unemployment here and there. And then most of it, they were taken back and then saying you owe them money. You went into a situation with your savings and you come out of the situation owing money. And this is so real. Many of us who make our living with our bodies, in terms of, well, we're performance artists. You know, we were really sacked with this thing. And a lot of us have children and there are lots of young people that need help. We've lost parents. So many kids have lost parents with this pandemic. Nobody talks about that. Half the kids going to school today have lost parents, aunts, the general caregivers of their family. This is a real serious situation, especially for people in the arts. So that's my concern.
So bringing on Angie, she disappeared for a second. Angie, tell me about your organization and what you are trying to accomplish here, and what you would like to see happen on the 30th.
Hi, I'm Angie. I'm actually a part of Anthony's organization, AWS Talent Agency, and Jay's agency, his organization, Urbanomics 101. So my part in this is bringing together also Latino Brown's nonprofit, bringing together these nonprofits so we can all support as a unity to help against crimes against humans, shedding no more blood, trafficking, homeless, veterans, trying to bring everything together as one big family. That's my part in this.
Do you think that people today are looking to give of themselves and help others more than they were pre-pandemic?
Yes, I do, because so much has happened, as Mickey said, that it is time that we come together now and try to help, you know, as one to make it better, because it's just getting so bad. I do.
Latino Brown and Project Tapestry. Let's talk a little bit about your organization, Latino, and let's see how you're getting involved in the things that you've been doing, and the connection between these fine people that we have on here today.
Unmute.
Unmute.
I think he's speechless.
There you go.
There you go.
I just want to say to all of us here, I want to thank God for bringing us all together to deliver this message to the world, first and foremost. Mickey, it's a pleasure seeing you again. I'm going to throw out a little history here. Howard Hewitt is one of my cousins, and I danced on Soul Train all through the 80s. So I'm very familiar with you. Number two, I'm very impressed with Anthony, and thank God he's your brother. And he brought, Angie came to me and said, we need some help. I said, we need some help. We all need help. So we got together and we're going to prove to the world that helping each other as we help as a unit will help more people out there. And this event is magic. I even pulled out my signature red carpet jacket for this event That's why I'm wearing it. And the sunglasses because our future is so bright. But the reality of it is this: homelessness is one of the biggest problems that we have. Okay. And together we can fight the homeless problem. Okay. We just need the synergy, and everything that we create today go away. Everything we create today will last for tomorrow, and the younger children will take our legacies, carry our torch into the future, and it'll be a better world all over.
Well,
So I have,
homelessness is a direct connection to trafficking, to drug abuse, to abusive behavior, to crime, to health matters, psychological matters in people. So homelessness is a foundational problem for people, and it puts them down the path in the wrong direction. That's for sure.
correct. And really it starts at home. Okay. I blame the parents, but I don't blame the parents because it's a generational curse that was handed down. We stop educating ourselves. We stop motivating ourselves. We pass those same genes on to the children. Now, wasn't really a big TikTok fan, but I love the guy that does the TikTok for the kids born in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. It is such a great parody of reality of the way children have been raised in a lapsadaisical way, not to take care of their own self. Just do whatever the heck they want to do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh, well, who cares? That attitude needs to change. Education is the prime motivation for what we do. Sheltering them, getting them out of the element they're in, put them in their own home, give them a sense of self-esteem, a sense of value that they're needed and wanted. A lot of homes.
And looking at the 30th, the end of this month, and the event that's going to be taking place in Glendale,
Yeah.
where Mickey Howard's going to be the hostess of the event. And what are we talking about in terms of Project Tapestry and its involvement there? And how did you get involved with that event?
It was thanks to Angie right there in the corner. Angie and I have been friends for a while. We met at an event, and she does her thing. We all do our different things, Jesse, but we're all connected to one thing: service and helping others in one way or another. So she called me up and said, "Hey, this is a project I'm working on. Can you help me get media out?" I contacted you, Jesse. You're the best person for the job. You've been a DJ, what, Kiss FM, KDA, KGFJ, Rick D's in the morning. I mean, you're third generation radio. I mean, that's number one. Selling homes, you know what important value and esteem that gives people for the first time to get a home. Secondly, you know about biotech, which takes plastics out of the waterways. It cleans us up. Whether you drink water out of the tap or whether you drink water from a bottle, you're still getting microplastics in your body. Imagine those little granules being caught in your veins. Okay? It's worse than having a blood clot because now you have plastic, and blood will not diminish that. Blood thinners will not help it go around that clot. That's very dangerous. So when you take the homeless off the street and they start recycling this plastic, now they actually have a real job. And this plastic gets turned into technical material to build sustainable houses. And Habitats for Humans.com. Angie saw it, Anthony's seen it, and I know Jay-Z's seen it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We saw this, right? So you understand where I'm coming from. Home is where the heart is. Our hearts are already here. We need to get their hearts off the streets into a home, give them a job and a regimen, get them off the drugs, addiction, and alcohol, and get them from the transitional housing first. So the ones off the street can transition while we train them to build homes.
So when we do the event on the 30th, the aspect in terms of talking about abuse against women and children,
right.
trafficking, and homelessness, these kind of all come together under one umbrella of problems and issues that are interconnected together. I want to bring Jay-Z on right now and let Jay-Z tell us a little bit about how his participation is with the event on the 30th, and what his organization is about, and what really strikes his heart. How you doing, Jay-Z?
Hello, how you doing? I'm Jamel Kipulan Ashanti. My organization is Urbanomics 101, and I created Urbanomics 101 to address the financial disparities in the inner cities, lack of opportunity, lack of programs. I was born in Watts, California. I remember, and I'll go ahead and date myself. When I was young, there were still factories in Los Angeles. There was the Firestone, there was Goodyear. You had
the Vernon corridor down there was nothing but factories.
Yeah. Downtown Los Angeles was literally a garment district because they used to manufacture down there. And prior to, after the Watts riot on up into the early 70s, all these businesses almost instantaneously started to leave. When the businesses left, the crime came in. The crime was there, but it was very minuscule. Once the opportunities left, the crime began to rise. And then there was the school system change. As a child growing up there, we were in the top 10 in what they call reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh yeah.
If you look at what's going on today, we have what we call functional illiterate. They can get by, but they're not on the same level that we were 40 years ago.
40 years ago, LA Unified School District was 50 years ago was a masterpiece for the world. They used to bring people in to copy what we were doing in Southern California.
Exactly.
Children, middle school or junior high school at that time in high school. And the graduation rates were astronomical. And like you said, now it's what, 27th?
Yeah.
Worse?
It may be worse than that.
Yeah.
And it's continually getting worse because they've gutted the school system.
Yeah.
The school system, like in the 70s on up through the mid 80s, there were programs that taught financial literacy. I was in school, I had them. That you could go to school, you could learn how to weld. They had auto mechanics. They had
technical skills.
They had all of these things, and then they had programs like the Regional Occupational Program.
Yep.
Do you remember the JTPA, the Job Training Partnership Act?
But
all
I'm
these programs.
I'm 62 years old this year, so I understand.
Yeah, and they gutted all these programs, and what we have now is chaos. So this is where the program started, because I came up in those areas. And I wasn't always a good guy, so I can identify. So Urbanomics 101, when I kind of switched my life around, and then I would go back and try to get other people to say like, hey, come on, we can do something else. But you can't, if someone is in poverty and in a bad situation, they can't hear you if you don't address the need. So right. Urbanomics 101 was actually like when my son was 12 years old, I created this program as an incentive program. And what I would do is I would import clothes and different items from overseas, and then I would give them to the kids to sell. And whatever profit they made, I let them have it. And I only recouped what my cost was. But they could only be in the program if they maintain a 3.2 or above GPA. So it was an incentivized program. Now, fast forward to now, most of the work that I do is overseas. I'm in Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria.
Right.
And because it'll all tie in with the whole trafficking thing and everything.
Oh yeah.
Because, the people in third world countries are more disadvantaged and more vulnerable than we are over here. You know, you can get yourself out of trouble here if you really want to, I think, you know, but over there, you know, somebody that makes no money, not even $20 a month, you're just vulnerable. And I've had to rescue many people from all that.
So this team that's coming together on April 30th in Glendale sounds like a pretty powerful team. We've got educational issues and entrepreneurial issues. We've got homeless issues. We've got issues that happened during the pandemic. We've got abuse issues. We have human trafficking issues, and all of this is going to be coming under one umbrella in order to facilitate some sort of change or the beginning of change for hopefully a large amount of people that are going to show up and see that, yeah, there are organizations out there that are working to the benefit of trying to do something good for the challenges we have in 2022. So it sounds like it's a real powerful team. And I just want to bring in Rodney Allen Rippey, because, you know, Rodney's been around a long time, and Rodney moves in and out of a circle of influence and network of people that have a lot of ability to do a lot of things. And he too himself is educating young people with programs through NASA. Rodney, how you doing, man? How can what you're doing and help on April 30th? And how did you come to participate with this team today?
Well, Jesse, thanks for having me on, and it's great to be with the group. And any type of organization that's going to be making this type of an impact in a city, especially here in Los Angeles, and this is so needed all around our nation. Right now, there is a huge psychological, spiritual, and moral breakdown that is gripping America. And when you start looking at the things like, you know, the defenseless, you know, poor little children who get caught up in these things. And then, and of course, Jesse, just like you're saying, the monsters who will take advantage of those and use their power and ability to be able to coerce and to take, you know, these people and really turn their lives, you know, around and just make a mess of things. It's great to be a part of that. I too, and shout out to Ergonomics 101. I'm with a group out of Washington, D.C., 360 Infinity. Also, there's a great group that's here in Los Angeles, the Hidden Pioneers, which a Latino knows about. Matter of fact, there's a huge event happening this Friday, and it's Skills 101, Skills USA. They're having their statewide competition in Ontario, and they're bringing all of the kids from around the state, and they're all going to have a huge competition. And Skills USA is right in alignment with what the gentleman was talking about with Ergonomics 101. And of course, they're teaching these kids hand skills. And, you know, these are the type of core life skills that people need, because if you have the ability to feed yourself, if you have the ability to maintain and hold a job, your chances of slipping and being vulnerable where someone could say, hey, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to put you to work and I'm going to take all the money and I'm going to give you what I think you should earn. And not even taking in consideration the life scars that are going to be put in place. And so I'm just thankful to be able to work with Alatino, the whole team here. I'm on the more marketing and creative side, and we're looking at being able to make this a world-class event right here in the city of Glendale. You know, I've been a media person. I've been involved in media broadcasts here in Los Angeles for many years, and we're looking at being able to get the word out to really drum up some support. And Alatino's great connections to people like Congress, City Council Member Karen Price. We have a dear friend, retired Congresswoman Diane Watson, and so many other people who we have the capability to kind of touch, and hopefully we can get them here and get them to support the event. And we're honored to be here. I know I am. So God bless everybody, and we're gonna keep doing it.
So I'm going to open up all the mics now, all at once, and I'm going to pose everybody just an overall question, and that is, and anybody can jump in here at any time and speak your mind. Just try to keep it. Let's try to keep it as short, as concise as we can, and don't talk over everybody because it'll just drown everything out. But here's the question. It's a two-part question that I'm going to ask you, because you all have expertise in these arenas that we've spoke about so far on the Jesse T Show today and Worthy Cause Wednesday, the continued fight against human trafficking. So it has to do with our society in general. What happened? What happened in the last 40 or 50 years to our beloved Southern California? What happened that has put us in this place and time where we have so many of these dramatic and very life-threatening issues? That's question number one. And the follow-up question is, how can we make it better? And how can the public make it better? Anybody can answer the question. So go ahead, whoever wants to jump in.
It's poor leadership. It's poor leadership. Ever since we lost Tom Bradley as mayor, and a lot of the plans that are going on that are good in terms of the transportation were things that he implemented. But after that, it's been very poor leadership. Cost the properties have sold to foreign people. People from the Middle East. All the properties. None of the property belongs to people that live in California. Most of the property belongs to people outside of this state and country. And we're being displaced. We have no jobs. People come here. They're dreamers. They want to, get into show business. And you have a business that is. God, it's extremely prejudiced against youth, against femininity, against race, color, and all of these things are culminating at one time. What we can do about it, we don't want to do. We need to boycott paying rent. We need to boycott a lot of things here. Yeah, we all need to be on the street, or nobody.
We're having a little bit of problem with your.
Don't start me.
Somebody else.
Because the government heard me say that.
somebody else jump in and just kind of free for all, guys, and let me what happened and what can we and the public do about it.
I think number one, I'm going to make it real brief. Greed has come in and corrupted the society in which we live in. We, the people, just laid on our backs and allowed ourselves to get screwed over by not participating. That apathy cost us the votes that get the right people in to do the right jobs for the right reasons. And Mickey was absolutely right. It's been decaying and decaying, and everybody thinks it's somebody else's problem. Instead of coming together to solve the problem, we separate, and it takes away the power that we have as the people to govern ourselves properly and to choose the leadership we need. Harvey, say something.
Well, I was just going to mention what you were talking about, that a lot of it, I think, is we've allowed things to, we've noticed problems, and we've told our politicians, hey, this is a problem we want you to fix. The politicians have come up with a solution. The problem is nobody's ever looked at the results to see if it actually was a solution, or it was just a way to pour tax dollars down a hole and didn't really solve a problem. And you know me, Alatino, I could care less about the method. I want to see a result. You know, if the method doesn't work, throw the method away, get a new method.
Amen.
Because that one's not working. And I think that's a lot of what we've had, a lot of solutions, but nobody ever gets rid of a solution that doesn't work. And they don't look at why that solution is bad or didn't work and find a better solution. In business, you have to do that. Otherwise, you go out of business pretty fast. But in politics, you don't have to do that. And I'm the, Jesse, I'm the technical guy, as you mentioned, and unfortunately, I'm having a technical problem, which is why my photo's not up there. I apologize.
So Angie, what is your thoughts on that?
Well, as the guys here have the nonprofits, and each one of them has something special to bring to the table to help with some of these solutions. You got Jay, who's got the education and feeding and housing. You also have Anthony that has his nonprofit that has the VA for the homeless, the adults, the women, the children. He has a reentry program. His nonprofit has a lot of things to offer some of these solutions that's happening. So does Alatino's nonprofit, has a lot of stuff to offer for some of these solutions. So we're all coming together to make some of these solutions that need to be happening. That's what I think, you know, but if nobody does anything, nothing's ever going to happen. So if we all step up and do something and we all come together, power is not in one, power is in together, is in unity. So that's what's happening now to get everybody to come to this event on April 30th, you know, support the cause of all the charities that's happening here.
So Rodney and Jay-Z, in answering that question, what happened? Because both of you have been LA participants on a lot of different levels. What happened? And Jay-Z, you were eloquent in how you explained the educational completely breakdown and blow up in the last 40 years. But what has happened to our beloved Southern California, and how do we and how does the public step in the right direction to change this?
I'm not sure there's a simple answer to that, because as the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. We didn't get in this situation overnight. This is a culmination of 50 years. So to think that there's any magic bullet that can solve it there isn't. And to add to what someone just said about solutions, I'm going to say this is probably my first time going on camera. I have always liked working behind the scenes. So for me to be on the camera and talk like this is big. Angie gets credit for that. Come on, Jay, blah, 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 blah. But I don't do this. And I'm someone who has worked behind the scenes in the entertainment industry with politicians and everything else. And I've always managed to stay off the camera and just kind of make things happen. And here I am front and center. And it's kind of nervous.
As Muhammad Ali said for many, many decades, I'm pretty. You're pretty, my friend. You need to get on the camera.
There you go.
But I'm all about solutions. My program, it has like 3 phases. There's the educational phase, which, you know, I've even written books on how to help people learn e-commerce, to learn about credit. And then what I've done over in Kenya, for example, is like I've taken these, most of the students and the people are women, disadvantaged. And I bought all these sewing machines and embroidery machines and everything. And I've taught them, I haven't, but I've put people in place and they've been trained to know how to sew and make stuff. And I'm going into leather, this, that, and the other. And then with that knowledge, and then with the e-commerce, then they're gonna know how to export. And then when you export from the continent back here on this side, when we teach e-commerce and distribution, now you have that pipeline, that synergy where they can work together. Because I doubt if anyone sitting on this panel today has anything in their closet that is made from any country in Africa.
I do.
Okay, well, one. but that's a shame.
That's right.
You know, and Africa is the future. You know,
well, of course, this is why the Chinese and the Americans and especially Chinese on the east side of Africa and the Americans on the west side with AMERCOR, this is what absolutely Africa is the continent. You know, if Africa could ever come together with all the multinational countries that are there, it'd be the strongest continent on God's blue-green earth.
Well, take into consideration, Africa has only been removed from colonization in some countries for as little as 50 years. Yeah. So once again, they have a long way to go. And it's that same 50 years that sold America out, because it was Nixon that opened the door to the Chinese Free Trade Agreement.
1973, brother.
There you go. And
Nixon.
Yeah, and once he opened that door, now we have no factories. We don't make anything but a few cars, and you know.
That's right.
You see,
Nixon, one of the most corrupt presidents ever in the history of the United States of America. Come on.
Well, once again, let's look at it from this perspective. I want to know where Jerusalem is. Do you know where it is, Jay-Z?
Of course, I've been to Africa. But this is I'm not going down the religious rabbit hole or none of that.
Another discussion on another show. But the bottom line is, Rodney, let me ask you the same question. Yes, what has happened from your point of view, and how do we solve this?
I'll tell you, you know, over the past 40 years, it's been already proven. One of the greatest mistakes that we ever did was taking prayer out of the schools. When kids lost that awareness that there is something bigger than them, bigger than their teachers, bigger than their community, bigger than their parents. There is something about having that awareness where you go, you know what? Someone great is watching me. That kind of starts to kind of guide and make you be a little bit more aware. Now, all of the controls are off. It's about do what you want, do how you feel, disrespect who you want, talk how you want, look how you want. And that is a huge problem that has just permeated all throughout society. We've made such grave mistakes. As the brother was saying, here in LA, there used to be factories and things like that. Now look at us. We have a supply chain problem. That is why we need to start opening factories up. We need more tech centers here. That's why I'm part of 360 Infinity. There is a whole network of incredible people who are all about STEM education, everything from the metaverse to you name it. We have groups of people who can do it. And you have people like Alatino that's on the social side that's trying to make a difference in the nonprofit world. Well, there's a lot of people who need to be focused and keyed in, like, you know, Urbanomics 101 is to focus on the real hard dollars that are just being siphoned out of America because we've made a huge mistake by sending our talent overseas, and now we're handcuffed. I was talking to a gentleman that owns one of the most major car dealerships out here in Southern California. He says, Rodney, I used to have 500 cars on my lot. He goes, I got 40 brand new cars. And he used to carry 500 because of the supply chain, because of the computer chips. are slowing up his cars. He goes, I got 40 cars out here. And I was like, man.
Everything is back ordered on cars. If you want to order
Right.
parts, everything is back ordered for months, and they might not even get them anymore.
Right. And so, and Jesse, the close off with what can we do now? It's about educating the youth. Matter of fact, I had the pleasure of meeting a guy. His name is Sam Beard. Sam Beard is focused, and most people don't really notice, the most critical stages in a child's life, in a human being's life, is 0 to 3. 0 to 3. And when you get into that, anywhere between 3 to 5, well, yeah, let's say 3 to 5, that is the sweet spot, because you're going to set the trajectory for life at that point. And Sam Beard, he was actually working with Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis back in the day, and he is still, and he's part of our group. And I mean, we got some very, very powerful people making these things happen, as well as, again, Bill Montgomery. He's a cousin of Katherine Johnson. That's why we got the connection to NASA. So that's where we are. And we're looking forward to being able to make all this great stuff happen. We're going to do it.
So alluding back to what you said about taking God out of the schools and spirituality and religion,
right?
Schools. My mother, when I was growing up, I went to Village Christian School, and one of the reasons why, in 1965, when I was 5 years old, she put me in Village Christian School. We had an elementary school, LA Unified School District, right across the street, but my mom and dad opted to put me in Village Christian School. And years later, I asked my mother, and she was just a wonderful woman that could, I swear to God, she was a prophet from the future, at least for our family. She was. And I asked her, so why did you guys make a decision to put me in Village Christian when all the other kids in the neighborhood went to Fernandez and Byrd Junior High School? And I spent high school at Village Christian, and then went on to high school in LA Unified at Polytech. And she said, well, I thought about it. Daddy, that's who she referred to as my father. Daddy and I thought about it, and we talked about it. And I just thought, and my mother was a very religious woman. And she said, Jesse, I just thought you needed an insurance policy.
That's right.
I looked at her and I went, okay, like I'm in my 20s there. And I go, insurance policy. She goes, yeah, the world has its rules. Our family has our rules, but there's rules that have been around for time immortal. And I just think you need to know and be able to participate in those on an everyday basis. And when I look back on that, like Jay-Z, I was a mischievous young man. Let's just put it that way. Okay. When I look back on that, I say, something? She was dead right on. And when they took God, whatever your God is, your ability to worship your God out of the public school system in Los Angeles and thereabouts, that was one of the worst stepping stones to where we are at today.
Yep.
And I did want to answer my own question. I really believe the problem has been created on purpose. I believe that there are nefarious powers of this planet Earth that have arbitrarily set wheels in motion to destroy America's middle class, to destroy it all.
Yeah.
For a reason, and that is not wealth, because money means nothing when you have all of it in the world. So power and control over life and death. And I truly believe that the opening of China, all the world wars, and all the wars since Napoleon have been backed by a certain few arranged entities. We won't get into that. That's another topic. But it is really impaling itself now on America because they've dumbified, that's a new word I just created, or stupefied the last 3 generations, starting with my generation, the end of the baby boom generation and destroyed our ability in education, like Jay-Z says, and so many others have said here, that we have become stupid in the brain. Not dumb. Dumb, you're born dumb. It's a health issue. Stupid is a choice. Okay. And we become stupid in the brain and not having the curiosity to learn things. We become solicited with things that are sexy and easy and wonderful and beautiful, because that's the human cause. They do. Okay, so I believe that emphatically. And until we get rid of corruption at the highest level of our country, at the state level, at the county level, and at the city level, every one of those rat bastards on the city council are as corrupt as dirty varmint crap. I ran for the 7th district city council, and I backed out because I know secrets on every single one of those nuts, and I would bring it to the horseshoe. So I probably wouldn't have existed, okay, much longer. So the point is, if it's happening there, imagine what it's happening at the international level. Imagine why Ukraine is being attacked by Russia. Do you really believe CNN and Fox? Please. Okay. The bottom line is we have to understand where that is so that we can implement the change at the bottom ground floor level and take the youth, the next generation, and say there is something better.
Well spoken. Well spoken, Jesse.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to say, let's all smile, hold our heads high, thank the Lord for getting us here, and keep pushing until next week when we reveal the secret of no more bloodshed, and everybody will be able to walk the heavenly carpet. I'm excited. I appreciate each and every one of you for every contribution that we made, and we're going to keep contributing everything we got till we walk in there Saturday night. Peace.
So before we go, I want to talk about this this graphic I put up here. And can everybody see it? The loyalty group?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up this way, and I'm going to share it because I want to talk about this before we go. Now, can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to talk about this, and I want whoever. I just need one person to tell me. I think it would probably be Anthony. If our connection is clear, Anthony, because you're putting this together with Miki and put this together. So if our connection is clear, I'd like you just to address how can people get involved? How do they find tickets? Where can they go? And how can they participate, Anthony?
Okay, they can go to Helping Hands of SoCal.org to buy tickets. They go to the homepage and click purchase tickets, and they can scroll down. That's where they can purchase tickets for VIP, general admission. If they want to buy an ad for the magazine, if they want to purchase a table, everything is on the website.
And so the event is taking place April 30th in Glendale on Brand Boulevard. That's right across from the Alex Theater, or not too far down from it. Stars on Brand at 417 North Brand Boulevard. It starts at 7:30, the red carpet. You can come out, snap pictures of your favorite stars, and maybe get some autographs or whatever. And the seating begins at 8 o'clock. And I understand there's going to be a dinner show involved here. Anthony, talk a little bit about that.
Yes. The entertainment is going to be great. We have some really great singers, some dancers, and we're going to have some surprise guests as well.
And Nikki Howard is going to be the celebrity host.
Nikki Howard is the celebrity host, and my sister, and so I'm really excited for this program, for this event.
That was
So we want you to get out there and start getting involved now, folks. Get those tickets. It goes to a good cause, and the causes of what we talked about today from all the individuals, and which will help our society get better, and it'll help you feel good too. And there's tax write-offs that are involved in that, so that you can claim this at the end of 2022 as a tax write-off. And more importantly, though, you can volunteer through your participation in purchasing a ticket. And if you want to get a little more involved, I'm sure one of these organizations will be happy to have you. You can pick one that is dear and near to your heart to get involved. And volunteerism is something that really this country was made of. And so we want you to be a participant in that. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you joining in to the Jesse T Show and today's Worthy Cause Wednesday, as we bid you adieu, brought to you by Your Home Sold Guaranteed. And if they don't sell your house for the price you want, they'll buy it. 1-844-332-6305, extension 1045. Next week, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and the Jesse T Show is on every day of the week from Monday through Friday, talking real estate and loans, and all in the day of a life of yours truly, me, Jesse T. Love you guys. See you, and get those tickets now.